My name is Mary Cavalier, and I'm 63 years old, and I live in Granada Hills, California. I'm planning on retiring soon, and a lot of people have asked me, why so early? So here's the thing. When I was 16, I went to my first Broadway show, and I was just mesmerized. And that's when I decided I wanted to be an actor. So I started out small in high school, doing the chorus and things like that, and eventually worked my way up to doing leading roles in musicals. I played the leading Guys and Dolls. I played Mother Abbess in Sound of Music. I played the Baroness in Sound of Music. I was in Pirates of Penzance. I played Huddle in Fiddler on the Roof. But that was when I was very, very young. Okay? But my love for the theater and my love for acting continued through my 20s and 30s. And when I was in my mid 30s, I decided to study professionally. And so I used to commute from Connecticut to New York City, where I studied with some of the best teachers in the industry. And for a couple of years, I was a professional actor in New York. Didn't get very far because it takes time. And my husband at the time really had an issue with it, especially when I was doing theater. And I used to go into the city and stay there for several weeks at a time to perform. And he had an issue with it. So he came home one day and he said, "Look, it's me or showbiz." I was young, I was naive, I wanted to please him and make him happy. I didn't want him to leave me. So I chose him, which obviously was a very big mistake, which I rectified about 5 years later. I divorced him. But as luck would have it, when I was 40 years old and on the pill, I got pregnant with my second child. My first child is now 38 years old and lives in Seattle, and I had him when I was 24. But my daughter, I had when I was 40. So by the time I divorced my husband, I was a single parent of an infant. So you really can't go back to being an actor with that kind of responsibility. So I have spent my entire life raising my children myself. Like I said, my son is 38. He lives in Seattle and he works for Microsoft. He's kind of a genius, if you will. My daughter is going to be 24 next week, and she is a creative person like I am. And she is working in the cannabis industry as a social media influencer and a social media strategist. So she's well on her way. She moved out about a year ago, lives with her boyfriend. So, in preparation for my upcoming retirement, I paid off all of my debt except for my school loan, and I also paid off anything that was going to get in the way of me being able to survive. Because I have a pension coming from the Hartford Insurance Company because I worked there for over 20 years. And the last job I had with them was a litigation assistant. And so I have a pension from them, and then I will collect Social Security. And that money combined is enough with a modest income for me to survive. So I just moved recently from a one-bedroom apartment in North Hollywood to a studio apartment in Granada Hills, which is about $600 less a month expense for me. I just filed for my Covered California medical coverage, and I'll be looking for dental coverage and taking care of all those loose ends. My date to retire from the corporate world, if you will, is April 3rd. And that is when I will become a full-time actor. So what I'm trying to determine now is, do I want to join SAG right away or do I not? I am SAG eligible and have been for several years because I have done things here in LA as an actor on a part-time basis, and they've all been non-union projects. And I also had a wonderful teacher here in LA. His name is David Dean Buttrell. also known as Lincoln Meyer from Boston Legal. He's just a great character actor and really brought my work to another level. So, do I want to travel? Yeah, I really do want to travel, but I can't do that unless I make some money as an actor. Um, I just would love to take a vacation, like, and go out of the country, which I've never been out of the country. Both my children have been to Italy, and one of them to Sicily. I'm half Sicilian, half Italian, and I still haven't been there. I've done my DNA through Ancestry.com and have gotten details on where my great grandparents were born and my grandparents were born, and even where my mother was born. And I'd like to go over and explore that. But again, I can't do that without money because the income I have right now for my retirement is just enough for me to live and survive on. It's not enough to travel or do anything fun. So that's okay with me because doing art for me is more important than anything else. It's the only thing that's really given me the kind of joy that people find that love their jobs. If I'm not on a set, I just refuse to work anymore. I don't care how old I am. I'm old enough to retire. Okay. And I don't know how many years I have left. My dad died at 54. My mom died at 77. They had health issues. I don't know how long I'm going to be healthy and how long I'm going to be able to drive myself around anymore. So, whatever time I have left, whether that be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, um, I'm going to be a full-time actor. And because I'm a character actor, doesn't matter how old I am, doesn't matter how gray I am. It's great. So, I don't have any family to present to you about my retirement. My daughter is supportive of what I'm doing. My son is supportive of what I'm doing. And many of my friends are actors themselves. So they are very supportive in what I'm doing. And everybody's kind of jumped on board. And I couldn't be happier about this decision. So let's retire. Okay?